The year is 1258. The Mongol Empire stands at its height. From the Pacific Ocean to the gates of Europe, their armies thunder across continents, unstoppable, unmatched. 100,000 riders, trained from birth, masters of speed, strategy, and terror. They are the storm that conquered half the known world. But what if something impossible appeared in their path? Imagine the endless grasslands of Mongolia, and in the center of it all, a mountain of steel, a floating city that should not exist. Engines hum beneath its hull, metal gleams under the ancient sun. It is a modern aircraft carrier, stranded centuries before its time. The Mongols stare at it in disbelief. They call it a spirit, a god, a fortress from the sky. And yet, inside, it is all too real. Computers flicker, nuclear reactors hum, jets wait on deck like sleeping predators. This is the ultimate clash of eras. The greatest warriors of the 13th century against the most advanced weapon of the 21st would happen if a single aircraft carrier battled the Mongol Horde. To understand this confrontation, we must first understand both sides, their power, their purpose, and their limits. The Mongol Horde was a machine of flesh and blood. They moved faster than any army before them, covering 100 miles a day on horseback. They carried bows that could pierce armor at 200 yards. They communicated through flags, smoke, and drums, coordinating armies across miles of open ground. They conquered cities, crushed empires, and changed the world forever. On the other side stands the aircraft carrier, the pinnacle of modern engineering. A Nimitz-class supercarrier stretches over 1,000 feet long. It displaces more than 100,000 tons. It carries nearly 70 aircraft, each one capable of breaking the sound barrier. Its reactors can power it for 20 years without refueling. Its radar can track hundreds of targets. Its missiles can strike with terrifying precision. To the Mongols, it would be the wrath of heaven itself. To the crew, it would be a nightmare beyond reason. Because here, in the 13th century, there are no satellites, no GPS, no radio signals, no resupply ships, only the wind and the steppe. Let's imagine the moment it begins. A modern American carrier, let's say the USS Gerald R. Ford, is caught in a freak anomaly, a tear in time. In an instant, the ocean vanishes. The ship grinds to a halt on dry land, its hull half buried in the grasslands of Central Asia. Inside, alarms blare. The crew rushes to stations, disoriented. They scan for signal. Nothing. The ocean is gone. The year is unknown. And then, dust on the horizon. Thousands of riders. The Mongol Horde, led by one of Genghis Khan's generals, approaches to investigate the strange mountain that appeared overnight. At first, they watch. Then, curiosity turns to fear. They see men moving on top of it. They see strange birds, metallic, silent, sitting on its back. The Mongols loose their first arrows. They strike the carrier's hull and bounce harmlessly away. The sound echoes like thunder. The riders retreat in confusion. But from the bridge, radar screens light up. Tens of thousands of targets, moving fast. Surrounding them, the captain gives the order, launch aircraft. Engines roar to life. The sound tears through the sky like the voice of a god. Jets leap from the deck Fa-18 Super Hornets screaming across the steppe. The Mongols scatter. Machine gun fire rips through the grass. Explosions bloom in the distance. The ground shakes. For the first time in history, cavalry meets jet fighters. The horde, unmatched for centuries, is obliterated in minutes. The Mongols have never faced anything like this. They have no words for it. They retreat, leaving smoke and silence behind for the moment. The carrier reigns supreme. But this victory will not last. The aircraft carrier, though mighty, is a fragile giant. It lives on logistics. It breathes fuel, ammunition, and maintenance. Without resupply, its power fades day by day. Each missile fired cannot be replaced. Each flight consumes precious fuel. Each damaged aircraft strains a system built to depend on a global network. In the modern world, a carrier is never alone. Here, it is utterly isolated. Mongols, they never attack the same way twice. They study their enemy. They adapt. They wait. Days pass, then weeks. The Mongols return under the cover of night. They strike at small patrols, capturing stragglers. They learn the ship's patterns. They map its defenses. The carrier's crew begins to ration supplies. Jet fuel dwindles. Maintenance breaks down. Dust clogs engines. The aircraft that once ruled the skies sit motionless, with their wings heavy with silence. Inside, tension grows. Food runs low. Communications remain dead. No rescue will come. The Mongols surround the ship at a distance just out of range. They watch, patient as the steppe itself. They know time is on their side. Eventually, the carrier becomes a fortress under siege. Still deadly, but slowly dying. The Mongols begin to test its perimeter, probing attacks at night, fires set to confuse and distract. They use catapults stolen from Chinese engineers, hurling burning oil at the hull. The fire can't breach the steel, but the smoke chokes the crew. Inside, morale breaks. Crew members whisper of surrender. But surrender is impossible. There is nowhere to go. After months of isolation, the once mighty machine becomes a silent relic. Its weapons dry, its fuel gone, its power fading. The Mongols move in, not in a charge, but in waves, disciplined, relentless. They climb its sides using ropes, ladders, and siege towers. The last defenders fight bravely, but it's hopeless. Eventually, the flag falls. The carrier is conquered, not by superior force, but by patience, adaptability, and the unyielding will of humanity. So, who truly wins this battle? At first, the carrier. Its weapons could destroy entire Mongol armies in hours. Its technology is centuries beyond comprehension. But in the long war, the Mongols prevail, because technology without support is fragile, and adaptability without technology endures. The Mongols survived in the harshest conditions on Earth. They needed no fuel, no factories, no supply chains. They were self-sufficient, resilient, unstoppable in their simplicity. The carrier, for all its brilliance, was built on complexity. It represents the peak of human innovation, but also our dependence on systems, on infrastructure, on connection. In a world stripped of those things, power collapses into silence. This clash, though imaginary, reveals something timeless. Power is never absolute. Every empire, every machine, every invention, no matter how advanced, exists only within the context that sustains it. Remove that context, and even the mightiest creation becomes helpless. The Mongols conquered with bows and horses, not because they had better weapons, but because they understood mobility, endurance, and adaptability. They thrived where others perished. They endured when empires fell.